Alright guys, welcome back. So just a quick update video tonight. I did a little work today, but I'm gonna call it early and just kind of go chill out for a little while. I need a break this evening, but I did finish. This is the center section of the three-piece wing. I did made this one last night, and I added the other one, and I put a little wire holder right here. It's hard to see. There's a little black wire holder that you glue in there, and that'll just keep it from falling in the wing. The next thing I'm going to do tomorrow, I'm going to go find a 3D printed file for these multiplex, which are for the wires, the lights. So I'm going to print a multiplex holder and just glue it to the wall here, so I can kind of secure things on the wings or on the center side, and then the wing piece. This will just kind of dangle in here, and I'll probably put a little holder here to keep it from falling away. And then I'm going to take this aileron servo wire, and I'm probably going to take some canopy glue or just some shoe goop and attach it and run it down this center wall here, because there's a gap between the center piece and the outer wing, just to keep it up out of the way, and that way I can plug it in here as needed. So, but I did this, and then I kind of switched gears a little bit, and I came back and I started, I wanted to figure out how I was going to do the lights. So I originally had a different light set. So this is, so this is the position light, and this is the strobe, and that's what was in here. It's a white, and this is a red. The other side has a green and a white. And these are the brain cube lights. And what I wanted to do, because I had it was a Unilight lens. What did I do with that? Yeah, had this on here like this, kind of covering both of them, and I kind of scuffed it to where it was hazy so it would be brighter, and kind of gave it like a lens look, but these aren't really scale, so I wanted to use the new ones that I got, the Vario ones, which have these nice color lenses to go over. Even though the LEDs are colored, these will go over that as well. So you'll have a red over this one, and then what I'm changing is this. So if you guys remember, it's kind of hard to see because oh man, you can't even see that. They're currently drying. I went ahead and painted them. So what those are these kind of scale position lights, kind of like you see on the real airplanes. And I did a video on this before, but it has has a lens, and then has this piece. This is the larger one. I'm using the one just smaller than this. I would have used this if I hadn't put the lights where I did. If the lights were back further on the fan where it was a flatter surface, I would use this larger half scale one. And all it is that. So your light's there for the position, and then what I'm doing, and you'll see it once it's done, is I drilled a hole in the top of this, and I'm going to run my white LED right down the center of it and have it stick out on top, just like you see the position, the nav and the strobe combo that you see on like real world airplanes. So that's kind of what I'm simulating, and hopefully it works out, because those LEDs get pretty hot, and this stuff is very thin, so hopefully it don't melt. I'm thinking probably I'll fill the inside void with some epoxy just to keep it from melting if it does get that hot. And I usually just secure the LEDs in place with high temp RTV. That way if you need to remove them and replace the light, you can. So that's kind of what I'm working on. I primed them, and I got the same blue that I got as close as I could for this model, and this is pretty good. It's the Arctic metallic blue. It's pretty close. Like I said, it's hard to see these things, but you can kind of see the hole I've already cut there, and it'll look really good. And what I'm going to do, like I said, is I'll just I gotta worry. I'll run this, it'll kind of stick up a little bit. I won't seat it all the way. It'll sit like this. And then with that lens kind of cap on it, you'll see the top part of this one for the white strobe, and then of course your position or your nav will be here, and it'll be right here. So that's what I'm changing versus this setup. I got to come up with a way, because this is so curved. So I'm saying if I'd have put it back here on a flatter area, it'd have made my life a lot easier. But because it's on a curved part, I wanted it on the highest part of the winglet. That way you can kind of see it from all aspects. So if it's coming at you, it's not kind of hidden back on the backside, and vice versa. When it's going, you can see it. So that's the plan. We'll see how it works out. This was already in a prior build. Like, I put wood dowels in there. I saw somebody else do this. Put wood dowels in the carbon tube to keep it from getting crushed and give it some room to bite. And then you just put these threaded pieces in here and run them down, and it holds them in place, so they're removable. And I got a plug here for the 2 lights. So, but yeah, once this is done, I'm at that point where I'm going to start assembling the model and start putting all the electronics in it. So it'll go pretty quick. And I did think about the tank a little bit, and what I'll probably do once I figure out how much fuel that main tank has is I'm just going to make a mount, and I'm going to put this tank right here on the CG, because the CG is about 160 millimeters back, so it's about right here. So the tank could sit right there. I could Velcro it down, and then what I'll do is I'll use a Festo fitting with some hard 8 millimeter fuel tubing. That way if I ever need to take this off, I just disconnect that and a disconnect here, so I'll have 2 and they'll come right off. And this will stay on the wing. And what I will probably do if I do that is I will make the top tank kind of like the first tank to empty, and then it'll empty into this one, and then this will be kind of the last tank to empty. So when that main tank is empty, if I need it, if I even install this one, it'll kind of be the concept to like, okay, well that one's done, and about the time I'm hitting this tank, I should be getting ready to land, because that's not a lot of fuel with a big 300. But granted, you're only, you're not going to be flying at full throttle, because that would last maybe a minute at full throttle. But anyway, so that's the plan right now, and I'm still haven't 3D printed this mount that I talked about. I'm not good at CAD yet, so I'm having a buddy draw me one up, and once he gets done with it, he'll shoot it to me and I'll print it. And that'll be it. And then I got to flip the wing over and reattach the gear doors to the mains. They have a little system that I took off, and I'll get those operating right and go ahead and add. I got to come up with a mount for the landing gear lights for that one. So that's what I'll work on. Be the last thing to do on the wing stuff. And then once this is done, then it is a true, hey, I'm just installing everything and final setup. And the other thing I'll talk about real quick is I mentioned this when I was doing all the servo work, and I first got the jet. This jet, what really makes me mad is the jet has a ton of scratches. The clear coat scratches on this jet are hideous, and there's some places that it's so bad that the glossy paint is actually dull, especially on the bottom of the nose where they were handling it, and that's just them piss poor handling it. And then this piece right here just isn't painted as well as the rest of the fuselage, so it's got like less glossiness. It's not as glossy as the rest. I never had a problem with Skymaster and glossy schemes. It was always flat ones, and I don't know what happened with this jet. Typical luck for me. I get the B team guy, I guess. What is that? Oh, just some dirt. I guess the guy was on vacation when they came to paint my jet. I don't know, but this jet had really bad, or has really bad clear coat scratches. And what also they did is, like, when they were spraying this one, because the center section's covered, they they didn't put a lot of clear coat on it, but what they missed, and it's hard, you're not going to see it probably with the camera, but if you're in person, you can see it. Like this last inch, half inch that butts along the fuselage, they didn't spray it well enough, so it doesn't even have any clear coat on it. So it's just base coat. And so I was debating on repainting it, having it re-clear coated and this and that. So before I got to that kind of painfulness, I decided to do some polishing and see how that works. So I got this little guy. It's a little handheld, kind of oscillating. It doesn't spin per se. It just kind of oscillates and vibrates, which is great for polishing. It's a car polisher. And I tried this tonight, the new Scratch Doctor, just to kind of try. I forgot I had this, but I bought this for this very reason. It's the swirl remover. And I tried it out on this side because there was a lot of like this. I don't know what it is about the clear coat on here. It's so soft that when I was cleaning the dirt off of it, the dust off of it, it was scratching it. That's how soft this was. So I was just like, so by the time I wiped it down, it had like places where you could see where I wiped, and I was just like, my eyes were exploding. So I took the buffer and did this area tonight, and I'm gonna, like I said, you probably can't see it, but it cleans it up very nice. So that tells me I have a fix for it. I'm gonna clean everything really good, and while I have it in pieces, I'm going to probably tomorrow, I'm going to clean everything really well, and then I'll sit down with that Meguiar's and the rotary and go over every area, every bit of this jet, and try to get these swirl marks out. It'll be easy to do before I put it together. And you know, I've even thought about having it ceramic coated, but I'm not going to pay $1,000 for a little bottle of ceramic coat. But they do have other products that you can buy that are just as good as what these guys are charging you all that money for. So my thought is if the scratch remover is just covering up all the swirl, all the scratches and everything, and doesn't actually polish the clear coat, then what I'll do is I'll get a good clean on it, and then I will do a ceramic coat on it, which should last and be a lot more durable than just wax. I know this is super nerdness, but when you got a nice glossy jet like this and you stick it out in the sun and it's painted like this one is, those blemishes look horrible. And by the way, it's, again, you know, you pay a lot of money for these. You wouldn't go buy a car that has a crappy paint job on it. So anyways, but I'm not going to rehash all that. If you were following this originally, I talked quite a bit about it and was pretty upset about it, because this is, like I said, this is my fun comedy jet with the Minions, and you know something that I will fly as much as I can, because it's just a good easy flyer. I can fly this even as big as it is. I can fly this probably at our local club, because it's not meant to be fast. It's meant to fly scale, and it will land in our area at our club, no problem. So anyways, so that's about it. Like I said, I'm gonna go take a break. It's like a 14-minute video of not really doing anything. It's hard to do live videos here, because this stage of the game, I will spend hours doing little things and not really looking like I get anywhere. It's not like doing servos where you can see, you know, what hardware I'm using and doing things. So that'll come with the SU when I get to the SU going. But I'll do some live videos when I get the install stuff and everything going. So, but you guys have a good night. I'm gonna go chill out and hang with the wifey. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up, thumbs down. Tell your friends. Cheers.